In this video, we're going to be going over 5 tips to get better at DrDisrespect's new game, Deadrop. Now, coming in at number 5, if you're just starting out the game, do not make the same mistake that I have. Don't drop into the map with your deep freeze loot, your bandages, and your ammo. Simply drop into the first game with only your fists. If you die from someone who's just waiting there and has a gun, you have nothing to lose. You can tell them that in proximity chat, and they're going to feel like an absolute jerk if they kill you with nothing on you, right? So just look for gear around there. It's really easy to find a couple of guns around there. Sometimes I even find myself dropping in with a secondary and a primary, and I don't even use my secondary because I just find a better secondary with it throughout the map. In extraction-based shooters, you really don't ever want to make a negative gain. You always want to make positive strides forward. This means if you're dropping in with a full backpack worth of stuff and you extract with only a quarter of a backpack worth of stuff, you're really making negative gains there. Whereas if you drop in with only a pistol or even only your hands and you're able to extract with like 3 or 4 weapons, a lot of ammo, a couple bandages, you're making massive strides in the right direction in terms of building up your stash and becoming a better Deadrop player. The next tip I have for you is to look for the heals around the map. You know, bandages are really hard to come by in Deadrops. It's even harder to come by than armor plates in Warzone, right? And you don't necessarily need full 100 HP to win a gunfight. You could win most fights with like 50 HP in your health bar. But with this being said, talking about 50 HP on every floor of the map in various locations, take note, mental memory power. Just keep track of where these heal stations are throughout the map. They'll heal you for 50 HP per use, and I don't believe you can use it again for a little while, but I've never ran into a situation where this health station has been used and I wasn't able to use it. Heck, I've never even ran into a situation where I've heard an enemy using one of these health stations, and the audio in this game is really dang good, right? So if you find yourself in need of health, if you find yourself in a gunfight, you might be losing, switch to your fists, back out, go find or go to one of those health stations that you've kept track of, heal up, reposition, and then go back and win that gunfight. Tip number 3, talking about winning more gunfights, use advanced strafing techniques to win more gunfights. There's 2 things I want to add here, right? You can either just strafe side to side on the ground, you know, you're just going side to side like every other FPS shooter, and the enemy's going to expect that, right? You might have a good stock. I actually don't think that stocks increase your ADS walking speed. So you might just have, you know, like a pistol or something where you can strafe a little bit faster. You might even be hip firing where you can strafe a little bit faster. But everybody knows about strafing side to side, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to jump strafe. This is strafing side to side, but you're using jumping to your advantage. And you're not just going to be strafing from left to right. You're going to be strafing from, let's say, left to left to left, to maybe then back to right and then to left to left. You know what I mean? This is 4 steps left, 2 steps right. This is going to make it a lot harder for your enemy to track you. You're going to be a lot more unpredictable in your movements. It's even going to make enemies have a harder time trying to track you and trying to gun you down because you're going to be unpredictable, you're going to be hard to hit, and you're essentially going to be winning that gunfight. Coming in at tip number 2, it's pretty cliche, pretty obvious, but when you're new to the game, the biggest thing that you want to start to do is to just memorize and learn the map. This doesn't mean you're just going to be running around the map all aimlessly, not really knowing where to go. You know, you want to keep track of where the helicopter pads are, where the different ladders are, the different staircases for you to get up to a higher ground, as well as even the extraction zip lines. You just want to learn everything about this map. It's really not that big if you think about it. It's just really vertical, but let's say you spawn down at the bottom of the map and the freeze is already coming. You know, it's going to be a lot more helpful to you if you know where those elevators are, or if you know where those staircases are. Or even, for example, if you're in a gunfight on the very top by the grand elevator, it's going to be a lot easier for you to win that gunfight if you know, like, let's say where those pipes are on the outside of the map, where you can crawl along the wall and easily flip positions on your enemy. Even if you're down below the elevator and you hear people fighting, just from going off of footstep sounds, you'll be able to win more gunfight just because you know different flank routes and different rush routes to get up behind those enemies, maybe even trick them, maybe even throw a smoke grenade on the other side of them and then run on the opposite side of where that smoke grenade landed just to trick them out, flank them, and you know, you're going to win those gunfights because you know map positioning, you know where to go, how to play gunfights in terms of where you can rotate from, where you can back out of the gunfight and go to reposition for a better spot. This game game can be a real big cat and mouse game, and I love that aspect so much. So make sure you're good at positioning and make sure you know where to go throughout the map. This also is going to be very, very helpful if you die and you know exactly where you died to go right back and get your loot. Trust me, it's a lot better knowing where you're going to go compared to just running aimlessly thinking, oh, where's my loot? I just lost all this stuff. You'll be able to get back there, immediately run right back to your loot, take down the guy that stole your loot, and then take their loot as well as your loot back. And coming in at tip number 1, the biggest tip I have for you guys to improve at DrDisrespect's Deadrop is simply going to be to make friends and teammates in proximity chat. Now, it's very hard to trust everybody. In the early game, I wouldn't ever say to go and make a team. You could make a long-lasting team that could last the entire game, but I think it's just a lot more risky because, you know, it's early game. You guys want kills, you guys want to get more loot. You know, you're dropping in with not much, you might be dropping in with a lot, but you're in the end goal, you're looking to improve your stash and get more gear. It's a lot more challenging to incentivize someone to team with you when they're still looking for their gear compared to incentivizing someone to team with you at the end of the game when you both have stacked gear. You don't know what they have, they don't know what you have, but you both know you have a lot of stuff. You know, you see that big bag on their back, you know they have a lot of gear in there, and you know they don't really want to lose it either. So, you know, maybe drop them a couple bandages like I did in this clip. Maybe just talk to them and say, hey, you watch one side, I watch the other, let's team up and let's both take this grand elevator together. You know, like, you have a lot of stuff, you don't want to lose it, I don't want to have to kill you for your stuff, you don't want to have to kill me, so let's just team up and let's get out of here together. It works a lot of the time, but also you can get backstabbed pretty hard if this doesn't work. So make sure you tell your fellow teammate to switch to their fists so you guys know you can trust each other. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below. If this helped you out as well, please let me know down below. Let me know as well as if you are liking Deadrop. I personally am really enjoying Deadrop. I'm very excited to see where this game goes. It's obviously still in pre-alpha. The last video I made was pretty much with only like a few hours of playtime when I was reviewing it, but now I have a lot more time and I've had a lot more time to dive into Deadrop, and I really do enjoy it. I really like the gunplay. I really like the map too, especially. I think the map is really enjoyable. It's nice to feel something with a lot of verticality because there really isn't something with that much verticality in the FPS genre nowadays, and it's really cool to see, especially from the last snapshot till now, of how this game is improving. I'm really excited to see where they can take this game, how well the gunplay and how well the graphics and everything is going to look. Of course, it's going to be on Unreal Engine 5. It might not look like it to you yet, but it's going to be one of the best graphical games you will see, and that's a fact. So enjoy the rest of your day. Keep playing Deadrops if you're enjoying it. Have a good time. Peace out.